10 seconds to start your thing.
Mm-hmm. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sunset Stitches. My name's Trevor Conkergood, and it's Free Font Friday here at Sunset Stitches, and we go live every Friday to kind of celebrate the end of the week and release our new free font, right, Nicholas? So it's June the 7th, you guys. And the font of the week is called Chalkline. There's your new free font of the week. It's called Chalkline. It's a nice font because you can go from small sizes to really large sizes, and it works good in satin stitch. They don't get too long. So you can probably go up as tall as 3 inches before you even have to worry about kind of like how fat are the lines getting. So it's quite a versatile font. And so anyway, this is the latest free font from Sunset Stitches. And so I want to say thank you to my son, Nicholas. He is also in the house over here. How's it going, Nick?
It's going well.
Excellent.
Just came on the microphone for a second.
Mike, so he can at times he's going to need to use that to help communicate, but he doesn't always want to be on camera, so we can be okay with that. But that said, he's manning the behind the scenes for me, and so hey, how's it going, Robin? It's so nice to see you today. I wish I was in Southern California. Sounds awesome. Surf's up, eh? I don't know. What do you say in Southern California? Up here in Saskatoon, we say, how's it going, eh? Chalkline, you want to get it while it's hot because they're free for the week, and then after the week, you got to be on the member list to get into the font archive. And so there is a nice collection of fonts that have happened over the past 21 weeks. This is this week is number 21. So I guess we're coming of age here at Free Font Friday. And so it's fun for you guys to drop in on me every Friday. This is a good time. If you have a question about, anything embroidery related, especially if it's embroidery software related, especially if it's Floriani embroidery software related, good time to answer questions. This week's RNK Video Club's video of the week is going to be about the thread chart creator and how to create your own thread charts, and with specifically how to create your own custom colors and how to even create your own custom variegateds. So I think that's going to be popular, and it's kind of a nice, short, concise video on that topic. So I think that's one of the things that's cool about these are still the free fonts that we've released, you guys. I think that's one of the things that's cool at the RNK software owner's website is that there's so many great videos and a new one at least every week. We always do at least one, and we send it to your inbox. So if you've watched them all you have to do is watch the new one. But if you're new here, there's hundreds of them. Well, our RNK Software Club website will get better. And I will just leave it at that. All I'm going to say is we have been working on it. And so there will be some exciting news in the coming weeks for the videos. All of those were free. Look at that. That's a lot of fonts, right? 21. It's like I feel like we're ready to go out and party now because we just finally came of age, Nick. Yeah. All right. So welcome to Sunset Stitches, you guys. I'm so happy. I was home all week, and so I'm kind of got my feet under me again because whenever I travel, and last week I was in Cleveland for a wonderful event at a brand new sewing store that I'd never been to before. It was my first time visiting Pins and Needles. I want to thank Daniela and her mom Jan for hosting me there. What a great sewing store. If you're ever in Ohio, you want to drop by Cleveland, you might make sure you want to go to Middleburg Heights. It's like 20 minutes from the airport. And that's how you get there from Saskatoon. was by air, right? For Saskatoon. Friday, but this time of year, I like to go to the lake usually often on the weekend. So oftentimes, if you see me commenting on Facebook on the weekend, it means I'm sitting by the campfire looking at my phone, which I shouldn't be. All that said, it was a busy week here at Sunset Stitches. We had, of course, Digitalk on Wednesday, and I don't know if you saw the latest design, but there was a woozle, and that is a cute little piglet with the woozle there. I got another one with the woozles, but there's quite a collection that we've done now. When I look back over, I guess it's 8 weeks of this was Digitalk number 8 this last week, right? And in the last 8 weeks, boy, I've done a lot of Winnie the Pooh designs for you guys. There's a whole collection of them, and these are just the little ones because there's some big ones too, right? And I've been working on the 100-acre wood, so I don't know if you guys are tuning in on Wednesdays, but we've been kind of doing the Winnie the Pooh or a little bit of something else. Sometimes we do spirograph or something like that. Before I go on to my screen, and it's so great to see everybody, and Nicholas is putting everybody's names up. So, hi, Lois. So many, and I recognize every single person whose name is on there, and Cheryl, Lee, and Denise. Thank you so much, you guys, for visiting. I messed up last week. I was supposed to be here live Friday, and I said to Nick, I don't know if everybody's even going to come after last week. We didn't even, we posted the live thing, and then it just never happened. So I was going to go live, but as a contingency plan, because I didn't know if it would be possible, it was kind of an unknown with the busy day that I had it in the store. We thought that I made a pre-record. It wasn't long. It was just like a 10-minute long recording. I was supposed to go live and say, hey, I'm in at the store and just get the font and, check out. Anyway, it didn't go. I don't know, but I saw several comments on the Facebook post, people saying, I'm not sure what happened to him. And one person said, I know he's in Cleveland, and so maybe something happened. And anyhow, you guys, I just want to say I'm sorry, because I didn't intend to post a notice for a live and not go live. So I apologize for that. My bad. The other reason why this week was busy was because we did a special class yesterday for members of workshop number 3, which is kind of something unusual because workshop number 3 is over. We had finished it several years ago, to be honest. I think workshop 3 started in 2017 or 18. I can see all the details are on my website when it happened. But the point is, in this year, I've been doing member retreats for workshop 1, 2, and 3 for people that have bought my DVDs over the years, right? If this is you, if you have this DVD case and you haven't joined our new website yet, please come and register. Just get a free member account for Sunset Stitches and then send us an email, because I have all the member lists of everybody. All of these workshops 1, 2, and 3, all the classes were sent by download by email. I emailed everybody every time, here's the new class, and if you lost it or missed it or forgot to get it, I'd email you again and email you again. So we finally got a website. When we started workshop 4, that was the current one. It's 100% download. There's no I made a case just so that all my favorite sewing stores could offer the workshop 4 membership to the people, but there's literally no DVD inside. It's 100% download. With the older ones, there was a DVD inside, but then the majority of it you downloaded. And I guess the point is, I added new classes to workshop 1, and I added new classes to workshop 2. And those were really good classes, you guys. Like, they were the workshop 2 classes when we did shading and blending, made some really interesting embroidery designs for that were, I think, something that if you own the software, kind of fascinating. And workshop 1 was kind of the mastering the basics retreat we did. In 2024, I added 5 new classes to this workshop. And so I just want to say, if you know somebody who's a member and hasn't caught up with me, what you need to do is join as a free member and just email me. There's no cost, and you can get the new classes. And then the news was yesterday we did a class for workshop 3. It was, the special topic was special stitches, or specialty stitches, or not specialty stitches. And so we did some interesting stitch outs for that class. This is like a new little spiral pattern that I made. These are all the black works. These are just built-in stitches, you know, that I stitched out because I wanted to be able to discuss all of the ways that you can change them. And it's quite interesting when you find out that not only can you do a bean stitch, but you can take your bean stitch and you can make it you can take your motif, and make it a bean stitch. So these are motifs that have been made much bolder by changing them from just a single ply motif to a 3-ply or a 5-ply. And this one here, isn't that cool how I took the apple and made it kind of really sphere sort of shaped? And this one here, I took the pattern and made it in a curve to create dimension with your motifs. So specialty stitches, we were learning how to make our own. And there's 2 classes in this retreat. So when we did workshop 3, that specialty stitches, the first class was yesterday, and anybody who's a member that didn't attend live can simply download it and watch it now. And when I say watch it now, I mean later today, because I haven't actually finished posting the class, but I am close. I have all the samples and everything. I'm just finishing my printable page and processing the video, and so it will be in the download page later today. So that's the deal. If you are a member of workshop 3 and you're like, I didn't know there was a class this week, I'm sorry. I don't actually have an email list for workshop 3. I have an email list for workshop 4, and I will be emailing all of the members for workshop 4 about our class next week, which is our spiral challenge review class, which is going to be a ton of fun. But we do lots of interesting things in our classes. So today is Free Font Friday, and I see lots of people are here. Are there any questions, Nicholas, that I could while I'm at it kind of thing?
Yeah, I had one question, or I guess maybe a recommendation. Leah said how to change the pivot point on like a square. You shared this one time but cannot find it. Thanks.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. How to pivot. Oh sure, that's a quick, easy one. So we'll do it right away when I'm going to go on screen here in a sec, Nick. So thanks. That's an easy one, Leah. I don't mind to show that real quick for you guys. And if you guys have any more questions, you can ask them to me. What else was I going to say? If you want to join, you know, like, because a lot of people are like, how do you get all those free fonts? You know, I didn't get them all. If you join for workshop 4, you get them, right? Because that's who gets access to the ones. And the other one that gets access to it is Trevor and Friends Embroidery Club season 2. And specifically season 2 because you know, season 2 has been like the never-ending embroidery club season for us, right? We started it, and then it kind of got stalled when I took the job on as the software manager with RNK, and I've been in sort of always good intentions to finish it up. And so the good news is I am finishing it up this year, and we've added quite a bit to it so far this year, and there's still our 3 big kind of main 10, 11, and 12 downloads to get. So yeah, how's it going in Northern Idaho, Miss Sharon? So good to see you today. I love when I see all of the members from Sunset Stitches dropping by, Suzanne. All that said, I know that every week there's new people that drop by. And so if you don't know, my name's Trevor, and this is Sunset Stitches. And behind the wheels over here is my son, Nicholas. And we are professional embroidery designers, you know, and I'm the software manager for R&K Distributing. And so I absolutely love the Floriani software, and all of our fonts are free embroidery fonts. I'm going to go, you can bring my software, or bring my website up larger there, Nick, or the screen, whatever it is. Yeah. And I'll go right into the program here, you know, the Floriani software. And this is the one that I stitched out for this week's font. If you want to make your own text, you're going to just click on your text tool and you're going to click on your workspace and it's going to put down the words my text. And it'll always remember whatever font you used last. Okay. And Lee, I'm about to get to your question, I promise. Okay. But it'll always put down the whatever, my text in whatever font you used most recently. If I change it, to something else, Circus, then it'll put down my text in Circus. So it'll update, to be that new font. But notice that if I start a new one now, it'll instinctually start the new one in Circus. So it's always updates like that. If you want to make it say, Trevor, in the case of Circus, I pretty much have to type it all capital letters. And I can kind of see that here. It shows A, B, C, D, E. There's no lowercase letters. Even when I hover over, see, it shows uppercase only. So if I type my name out in all uppercase, it's going to be, just fine. But if I type it in upper and lower, so if we just update that and click apply, OR, weird. I bet it's my keyboard. It gets weird sometimes. There you go. It's wireless. Yeah. Apply. It'll just be T, even though you've got the word Trevor in there. And sometimes that catches people. And a lot of the fonts that we've made at Sunset are caps only fonts, not all of them, but like I remember Digitalk, I made one. Nick made one. I shouldn't say we made one, and it's Digitalk right here. And when I click apply, it's a T because there's no, and once again, when you hover over it, you can see there's no lowercase, but this week's font, Chalkline. So now I go to the font of the week that you can download now. So right here is upper and lowercase. Yeah. And it'll default to the default size of 25. So with Chalkline, I felt like easily 75 was obtainable without really having any. It's just starting to get to be sort of to that point where some of the stitches are going to be too long. And so really probably 2 inches is a safe number. And at 3, I would recommend, not 2, 50, which would be in millimeters, 2 inches. I put in 2. I thought it was in inches, sorry. So the point here is, what size can you use your fonts? Well, what you're really kind of being concerned with is how long are they here? And I often turn this off. It's in the program. In your preferences, on the environment page, it says show warning for large satins. And so if you turn that on and notice that if I make this 60, so inch and almost, or 2 and almost a half, I get a warning. So it tells me that I'm getting some stitches in here, and you can push that. Doesn't mean your machine won't sew it. It will. Where it won't sew is 12. The warning comes on at 10. So it kind of lets you know. But what you can do is, and this is one of the tips I like to give with text, is you click on this button right here, and you put on a split. So it comes up at none, but I could choose middle, but maybe just random is what I'd probably choose. It'll just, if I get the right number, it'll leave the strokes alone and just put a little bit in the corners. So let me see if I've got, right now my setting is at 7. Did you see that? It's very subtle, but it fixes the design. And it's so this is why we have these different choices in here. Because if I go middle split, it's not wrong, but it's going to be more noticeable. It kind of makes that line a little bit kind of more defined. And when I make it random, it spreads it out just a little bit, smooths it, I guess. And I'm only using it because this font stays a nice satin through. If you made this number smaller, it would split. You could make it split the whole thing if you wanted, put it to maybe 4. See what I mean? So now it's splitting the whole thing. Now maybe you want to go middle split. Maybe this is a look that you really like, because I'm not against it. the middle split look. See that? It starts to slice all the letters up. So all I'm really saying here is you can make these fonts any size. Let's, Nick, before I forget, let's answer Lee's question, right?
Yeah.
So the question was, can you move the pivot point? Because normally it pivots around the center, right? So when I pivot my text, it's like pivoting around that X right there. And I think it's Alt that you have to hold to be able to move the pivot point. So when you hold your Alt key, it allows you to move it. So I'll put it on the bottom of the T. So notice it's sitting there now. And now if I rotate, it'll rotate around the T. So the quicker answer, because I guess I could have got to it a lot quicker, Lee, was the Alt key, right? Notice that it'll stay there, but once I like click on like deselect it and reselect it, it's going to default back to the middle. So that's where it normally lies. And so you just click on the Alt key on your keyboard to be able to place it in a different location. And now it will rotate around that different location that I've chosen. Kind of fun. Good question. Very good question. You guys have any more excellent questions for us? Don't be shy to ask. I wanted to take you guys onto the internet and show you that if you don't already have the Floriani software and you want to work with the fonts that I'm offering, you're going to need to come and get the Floriani Creative Express. You just click right here. There are videos to learn, how to use the text tool and how to import the new fonts, everything. There's videos in here. There is a manual if you really like to print things or just get the PDF. But it's right here. You go to download it. And it's actually the same download. So for the people that bought the program, it's actually the same download as the ones that have never bought it. It's right here. This is how you download Floriani software build 3893. We do update those builds. This one's from October 23. So in the near future, that'll get replaced with a new build. Usually once or twice a year, we have an update to the program. That keeps it tinkered and tuned up with Windows and all those things, but it also allows us to add new stuff. We don't add new stuff to the Creative Express program. No, we add it to the Floriani embroidery software. Typically is where the newest stuff goes. There may be new fonts and stuff that kind of get updated for everyone. So there would be things that would update in Creative Express, because when we release an update, even the people that have any version, Fusion, Rainbow, Lettering Master, Sketch-A-Stitch, Total Quilter, or FTCU will update from this page. So this is your update page, and you just click there to download it and then install the latest. And if you've already activated it, it'll look like mine, or it'll look something like mine with maybe some of the tools, because of course I have all the tools activated on, that are possible. So what I mean by that is this little paintbrush right here. Well, if you didn't buy Sketch-A-Stitch, you wouldn't have the Sketch-A-Stitch widget, which is how I'm able to kind of like click and drag to draw this line that has the pointy tips on it. And so that's called Sketch-A-Stitch. And well, that's interesting. Why is it like, that's not normally a line that I expect to take a little bit of time to draw. So I'm wondering why my hourglass is still spinning, but I'll be patient and, maybe let it catch up with me. If you don't know, I always say if the hourglass is spinning, that's not a good time to start clicking. But that said, I'm not really sure what I'm waiting for, because I've made a lot of those lines before and normally they just instantly appear. So something does kind of appear to be kind of hung up, if you will. That can happen. I am, to be honest, I'm Nick, there's one thing I am, and it's kind of superstitious, and I always restart my whole PC right before I do any live kind of thing like this. And I didn't today. It's been running for days, since Wednesday. And that's my bad, because I went out for lunch. So now I'm like, yeah, see, it's not coming back. There's no way it's going to wait. Something's wrong. What does Suzanne say, Nick? Go ahead.
Like a workshop on Sketch-A-Stitch.
Well, thanks for asking, Suzanne. I am, first of all, while we're waiting for this to go ahead, Greg, I'm going to, what I'm going to do right now, just so that we can free up from this, is I'm going to right click on my workspace at the bottom here, and I'm just going to tell it to shut off. It's, we'll go to here and let it crash because, end task. Because I'm impatient, and to be honest, there was something wrong. Like, it doesn't normally do that. But what I was saying was, I normally restart. I like to restart my computer now and then because it keeps it kind of running fresh. And I just felt like it was Murphy's Law. Look at that. I didn't do it before class today. And sure enough, it got stuck on kind of something funny. But all that said, when it's done, I'm going to actually go and do the thing that it just did to make sure that, because I will be fully honest, I may be running a build that's newer than the one that most customers have. And I like to run it for days or even weeks before I release or we release them, because we need to make sure that everything is working properly, right? So Sketch a Stitch appears to be just fine, and I knew it was, but I figured I'd test her out again. Okay, Nick, I saw your hand go up. I'll shut up.
I was going to say, Suzanne followed up and says that she's watched videos, but that the lives are good because she can ask questions.
Yeah, thank you, Suzanne. You're so awesome. Okay, so more on that. Maybe bring me up a little bit bigger again, Nick. I've been working on it. We were working on our website. Nick did almost all the work, and one of the things that I never got him to do, and it's kind of been on my to-do list, was the Sketch a Stitch, right? This was one that we were going to put on our website, and I was going to add to it, was what it was I wanted to, for members that were because we had a lot of people that joined for the Trevor Trove, right, which is basically kind of tongue-in-cheek, really. It's just when I go out into an event and somebody's looking at maybe buying the software, we bundle up the Trevor Trove with whatever bundle they're putting together, the amazing embroidery bundle that's always present when you go to my embroidery events. This is their way of putting me in the bundle, right? And it's just one. And once again, there's nothing inside but a code. That you get the there's a sticker inside. Where's the heck's my camera? There's a sticker inside here, and you use the code. And Nick, the codes from my event last weekend didn't work, and so I have to follow up because something appears to have gone wrong. I just said to all the people, well, that's okay, just join and send me an email and I'll take care of it, because I can always take care of it, but it should be automated when I make these. But anyway, and so coming back to Suzanne, it's been on my to-do list to add this to the website, and the reason I haven't is because we're planning some live sketch. I mean, I do it every week, don't I, on Digitalk, but actually focused on Sketch a Stitch, not, so all that said, I'll have more news for you about that. We'll do some live classes, and I will finish by adding the existing content. I'll start it, I should say, by adding the existing content onto our website finally, because then all the people that have access to the workshop or have access to the Trevor Trove will automatically have access to everything. So it's kind of been on my haven't quite finished it list. So I appreciate your comment. That's a nice screen there. Look, you can see, Nick, bring that up big. You can see just how good I really am. I know. No, like, I'm just scribbling, right? We need a picture. I'm a digitizer that digitizes from a picture for sure. While I was on the RNK Software Club website, yeah, there will be some updates to it. The main thing that if you're a new owner, there's a great video right here to watch. But the tabs really, this is where you get the Total Quilter videos. This is where you get the Sketch a Stitch videos. And the videos that are on the RNK Software Club website are very different from the ones that are on Trevor's Sunset Stitches website. The formatting is different and the topics are different, really, because here, Sketch a Stitch is going to be all about Sketch a Stitch. There's going to be training videos to show us how all of the tools work. each one of them, in fact, there'll be a series of videos that will all talk about how to use the different functions of the tools. But it doesn't necessarily take you through a lot of guided step-by-step classes on making designs. And I think that's where, at Sunset Stitches, we try to focus in on the making of the designs. And so when you come to Sunset Stitches, then my Flory, I've always had since 2015 a workshop, and workshop number 1, this is what I was saying, we added, these actually the new classes aren't even showing here. You have to log in. If you go on the member download page, so let me log into this website so I can kind of show you what it looks like once you get logged in, provided I can figure out 3 + 1 is 4.
Cheryl says that Trevor Crow is the best money she's ever spent.
Oh, you're the nicest, Cheryl. That's very nice to say. I appreciate you. There's a lot in it, and you can get a lot out of it if you go for it. I mean, you'll get what it's once you pay, but you have the time too, right? It's not just spending the money. It's not like buying a gym, kind of like buying a gym membership. You can pay for the gym membership, but if you don't watch any videos, and that's so I think that going live weeklies helped a lot with stimulating the interest in the actual getting involved. So I so appreciate you guys. I was going to say I've just logged in now, so now I can go to, for example, workshop 4 and go to the member download page where this is like the PDF book, so for all the pages up to the latest class. And then these are the class downloads that you would click on and collect, and each one of those buttons is basically has a 2-hour class attached to it, has probably 5 or 6 more pages for your book, for your binder kind of thing, has a bunch of designs and artwork. This is just class 10, 9, 8. So 2 classes kind of going backwards there was a lot of classes in workshop 4. That's all of workshop 4. And workshop 3, the workshop 3, if you go to the workshop 3 member download page, this is where you can learn about the classes. And this is where the link to the live classes were. This is the link for yesterday's live class. I'm not sure a ton of people figured that out. My bad, but like I said, these were kind of bonus classes that I just cropped up out of nowhere. Because workshop 3, these classes kind of happened a long time ago. And a lot of people that did workshop 3 haven't joined my new website yet. And so that's kind of why I added the classes, was to give a really good incentive to everybody to join up, get access to all the classes that you've ever purchased, and it's no cost. I take care of it. You just basically, if you click on account and you go to view all, one of the options is the Sunset Stitcher, which is like a free membership account, and anybody can join it. So, and if you want to join workshop 4, there's a discount coupon if you click here. And I can't do it because I'm logged in, but it's Trevor 99 is the coupon to do that. And there's a discount coupon that'll work for the past ones. And I extended it to the end of June. It's Trevor 56. Yeah, and those will update the prices to 99 or 56. So you can get Trevor and Friends Embroidery Club season 1 for $56 or season 2 for $56. So it's a really exceptional value. That's where, for example, when you look in the library, all the Digitalk classes go. So here's the latest, like Winnie the Pooh with the Woozle. Do you have any questions for me, Nicholas? Because I didn't come fully prepared with a lot of content for today, and so I'm looking to you guys to say, do you want to chat about anything? Chris is here, and so I'm sure that they will have a good suggestion. I recapped the whole week here at Sunset Stitches. We were kind of playing with some of the different just tips that I like to give, but it's Free Font Friday, and Nicholas and I are excited because it's June and it's finally nice in Saskatchewan. Right? It's like the window is small.
It's construction season.
Oh, it's construction season, Nick says, which means it's nice enough to go to the lake, but you have to be patient when you drive there because the roads are under construction. And in the city, most of the potholes are filled by now, so it should be safe to get your bike out. How about you guys? What's it like in June in Southern California, Robin? What about you, Suzanne, in Florida? What are the hazards of June in Florida? Here, it's like one of the nicest months of the year, really. And the most of it, we played ball last night. Nick and Alyssa and I played ball, and it was like there were no bugs. Maybe it was the wind. It was so windy last night. Today there's no wind. It's pretty darn nice. Suzanne says the humidity. That's probably a year-round thing, right? Like I remember you can kind of like get wiper blades for your glasses if you want to be down there in Venice, Florida. Super hot. Yeah. We are not super hot ever by any of you guys' standards. Even when it gets hot for us, you guys will be like, that's not hot. But it's hot. Donna says it's 85 in Northern Virginia today. That's pretty hot. We're not 85. What's Saskatoon today? I'll tell you guys because it's pretty nice out there. Do you know what it is out there today? It's 20 Celsius. Let's figure out what that is in Fahrenheit for everybody that's Fahrenheit. 68 here in Saskatoon. So not bad. That's not 86. My camera is just reversed. That's 68. What more did I want to say? So next week is my FTC workshop for class number 17A, which is the challenge review for the Spiral Designs Challenge. And that was a lot of fun. And then in class 18, I'll be introducing an all-new challenge. And so you guys can look forward to hearing about it next week. But Donna says 68 is perfect weather. And I agree. We're like, whew, it's finally 68 out here. It's been a long winter. And it's, and down here in the basement, I still got to wear a hoodie because it's not that it's cold, but the furnace stops running this time of year. And so the basement does. It's like come July, everybody's going to be coming. All my family's going to be visiting Sunset Stitches for the cool air down here when the house gets warm because we don't have air conditioning. You guys want to see my hoodie? I got a nice embroidery on the back of it. Can you see that in camera, Nick? Where's I'm going the wrong way. Oh, there I am. Yeah, patches on the back of his hoodie. Here. So we learned about patches last week when I was in Cleveland. We were making patches. We had a whole this was amazing, you guys. The staff there were outstanding. They had really nice people to help with the machines because we had 50 people make patches in the morning and we had another 50 in the afternoon, and they all brought their own embroidery machine. So imagine that. I don't even know if there's 100 people in Saskatoon that own an embroidery machine, but we had 100 of them in the house at Pins and Needles last weekend. And it was like, everybody made the one patch that I had designed for them. I feel embarrassed. I don't even have it out. I think it's actually still in my suitcase, but all the patches turned out real nice. And do you guys want to see the pictures of don't bring up my screen just yet, Nick. I will open that first. Let me think of where the heck did I put those pictures down? Oh, I know. Here and then here and here and Trevor in Cleveland. Okay, so bring me big on the there we go. Yeah, I always share my email address with everybody so that if anybody needs to email me after the event, it's either trevor@sunsetstitches.com for anything kind of related to my Sunset Stitches classes, or if it's directly about the Floriani software. Of course, there's probably more direct methods like our toll-free phone number at the R&K office in Knoxville, Tennessee. But if you want to get in touch with me, I'm also tconquergood at rnkdistributing.com, and I follow both those emails quite closely. Those were the sketches that I did. I did 2 skyline sketches. This was like downtown Cleveland, and this one was up more in the beaches, or I don't know, but Edgemont Park is what it was called. And that's the patch that everybody made this kind of, we did the 2-color one in the store, but I gave them the designs. I gave them all everybody that came to the event got these postcard and skyline designs and a bunch of PDFs from me of how to do stuff like make patches and make postcards and things like that. So there I am. I'm in Cleveland, and I decided there's 6 of these signs, and I was going to see how many of them I could find before I ran out of steam on my travel day. So I rolled into town, and the first one's in the airport. So I managed to snap a picture of that without getting some other person in their luggage. But then I went straight downtown. It's like from the airport, it's like 20 minutes right downtown. Beautiful place. That's the Rock and Roll Museum, Nicholas. I didn't have time to go into it, but check that out. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think that might be what it is. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's like a harbor and I'm standing, I went out to the end of it. There's like a pier there. And I brought my sketch with me. I was like, can you take my picture? Look at my sketch. They're like, oh, they just walked away. They didn't care. Look how I was like, I had the place to myself. Beautiful. All the attractions seemed like just me. I had good timing, I guess. Everywhere I went, I got just me and the whole park. That's Edgemont Park on the edge. This is another 20 minutes kind of out of the city, right? I was just from there. Now I come out here and took that picture. And then I was so inspired. I'm like, I'm going to find the other one. So this is like number 4, the Forge. And there was rowers rowing in the river back here. And there were people working out in a gym, like a big open air gym. I'm standing in their parking lot. It's a really interesting place. And then this one is like Daniela said she got engaged there. It's like a point of view of the downtown area. So Cleveland's quite an interesting city. I really enjoyed visiting there. And that's Daniela and her mom, Jan, from Pins and Needles. And that is me arriving at their massive sewing super center in Middleburg Heights. And like literally there's 100 people in front of me. And we could have all moved over into these grading tables over here and had lunch. There's a whole nother area. And then off to the right, there's a whole other area where we could have all played with long arm machines, and we weren't even in the sewing store. This is in the other half where they do their classes. So it's so big. So this is the space where everybody brought their machines in the next morning and we made patches. And this is just some of the people and their patches. It was pretty cool. So yeah, John, he made his with he put 2 strands of thread in the needle. That clever guy. He brought it up to show me. He had like pink and I think it was 2 shades of pink was what he put in. So all of the bright color was this really unique texture because he put it in. He ran through 2 threads through. Anyway, it's always something fun when you're in embroidery. That was Mary. She's their embroidery usage teacher. She has a monthly class. Everybody that owns Floriani in Cleveland has like a hangout spot that they get it together once a month. I think if you buy the software from them, that's free. They were selling a summer pass that was like all the classes for the whole summer. This is my friend Connie Jackson. Connie's one of the workshop members, and she came to visit me, and I got my picture with her. This is the Cleveland skyline that I digitized made big on a long arm, on an automated long arm quilt machine. That's pretty cool, right? That you can do that. Like the same design this is the same design that I sewed on the postcard. So talk about extremes. Where's my postcard? I just had it. I was just holding it. Oh, well, I moved it. But the point is like here. Imagine here, bring me half and half with the screen there, Nick. Like this little postcard, the design that I sewed out is like less than 7 inches wide. And in the photo right beside it, it's probably, I don't know, 36 inches or 48 inches. It's half of their long arm machine. It's as wide as you could make it in the throw. They did 2 of them. There's a red one. If I had the whole photo, there was a red one and a white one in a 12-foot frame. So this could be close to 5 feet long. It would make quite the pillow or a bedspread or something like this. Really Cool. Anyway, I love visiting stores because of all the technology that's there, and having the opportunity to see it, in use is amazing. So thanks so much. And oh my goodness, Barb won a software. It was so fun. Do you guys know about the golden ticket? Does everybody know about the Floriani garden party thread box? I'll let me see if I can. Oh, I'm still on screen there. Okay, good. I was going to say I didn't know if I was. I think I have one of the thread boxes over here. Let me just stand up. Oh, and get it for you guys. After ball last night, I'm getting up just a little slower than. Hey guys, I'm 56. I'm still playing slow pitch. I'll take it. Right? How far can I go? 70. How many of you guys still play slow pitch? What age? What's appropriate? When am I too old to play? When I can't hit the ball? Is that? This is called the Floriani Garden Party thread set, and this was the first event that I did where this set came in. And I tell you, we couldn't have had enough of them. I wish I would have had 20 of them or whatever, 100. How many people were there? Maybe they would have all. Had she told us all that she won that, we probably would have sold all 100 of them. But she came back on because she bought it on the first day, and she didn't come. Barb was only there for the first day. She'd only planned to come for one day. I was there for 3 days. And so on my third day, she came back in to say, look what I found when I opened up my box. These boxes do not all come with Floriani software, you guys. That was something special, very special. That's a major prize. It's like a $4,000 full retail value kind of bundle that she got for buying this beautiful box of thread. I don't know what the box of thread was at the event, but you can probably figure it out. It's 20 spools of our top selling colors. And it's a beautiful rainbow assortment, and it's called the Garden Party. And cool thing about the new Floriani packaging is the QR codes that are on the back. There's like little QR codes here, and you just scan that QR code. If you buy this thread set, it comes with designs. There's a whole design collection and we have a few different collections like this, but this is the only one that comes with at least at this point, that we've ever done where there was a ticket inside. Not every box has a ticket. Just getting a golden ticket's exciting, right? You go, oh, I got more free goodies, right? It could have been. How many tickets were out there? Oh, I never. That's a great question, but I don't know. I don't know the odds of winning. I bet Floriani could tell us that if we asked them, but I didn't. All I know is that you can win. And I didn't even know that software was a prize. Like it was. Apparently that was just a fluke that it was at my event, right? It could have been at hundreds of events, you guys. We do hundreds of events across the country every year, and these tickets are in lots of boxes. So there might be I don't actually remember what the list of the prizes are, but apparently the Floriani software was one of them. Because Barb won it, and I'm so happy for her. She wanted it, and she was like, you know what, Trevor, I couldn't afford the software. I was just happy to get some thread, and I thought the software sounded amazing, and so she was thrilled to have won it. And then of course now she's got a lot of fun ahead of her. So we'll look forward to meeting Barb again in the future, you guys. I hope she catches up with me and lets me know. I haven't heard from her since, but I keep talking about her on Facebook. Eventually, I think she's going to probably here email me or something. All that said, I'm going to reach out to her and make sure that she's in my classes, that she's hooked up for everything that she needs to have. Wow, what a great day. Bring me big again, Nick. So I'm just checking in with the other way, me. Just checking in with the who's here, you guys. So Sandy said, I will be visiting this store. Good deal. Tell him I say hi. Look for my postcard because I mailed them one. So I I normally mail my postcards before I leave town. I stick them in the mailbox there in the city, but I didn't have any stamps. I was like, oh man, I'm going to the airport and I don't have any stamps, because sometimes I just give it to the hotel front desk and I'm like, would you put this in your mail in the morning for me? And then I'm like, that guy better put that in the mail. That's kind of a cool postcard, right? I hope they get it. I guess I should follow up. I don't even know. People don't tell you when they get a postcard from you. So you don't know. You're like, I hope I got there. I send them all over, everywhere I got. I've been sending postcards to members of this class, and this is one of them. I want to say that normally I have a winner, but because I didn't go live last week, it's kind of messed up a little bit. And so what I will say is Nicholas and I will figure out who should be winners from the past and make sure they got communicated with. But we're going to have winners for next Friday. And the only way you can win one of our postcards is to make a comment on today's video. And so if you've already put a comment on today's video, that means you are already entered in for a chance to win. We will draw one from Facebook and one from YouTube. So you want to make a comment on both. You have 2 chances to win, I guess. That is totally acceptable. And we appreciate you guys for making comments, because, of course, apparently that's how it makes the things get more views. And then apparently if you make comments, I'm supposed to reply to them. At least that's what Facebook tells me, so that I'll get some benefit or something. So if I say thank you, that's me saying, okay, Facebook. Or if you get an odd reply like, what? So anyhow, you guys, it's Free Font Friday, and I think I should probably start to wind down, unless there's any last questions for anybody or anything we should know.
What product do you use for your patches?
Good question. There's a bundle that when I go out, it's a 5-roll bundle. We call it Trevor's Postcards and Patches bundle. So it really depends on which technique, because I do 5 different techniques. But I think what you're maybe asking me is, what's the white stuff that's underneath on the back of your jacket, right? This stuff here. And that is called Stitch and Shape. There'll be a roll of it on my rack here, and there'll be a hunk of it right here. And I use it for a lot of my sampling, because it's basically like a felt. But it's fully washable, as I wash this hoodie all the time. And it does never fray and doesn't break down. It's quite stiff, and so it's very easy for making patches on. And I'll talk more about patches in the future. You guys will do some things on Facebook about patches and about postcards too. I'm planning on doing some, little kind of special embroidery recipe box type videos for those ones. We just haven't gotten to it yet. But when I do, I'll go through all the parts in the bundle, what are the different rolls and why, when do you need them. But this one here, the main thing is you got to flatten it, right? You need, because it comes off the roll and it's got quite a curve to it. And you don't want to try and embroider it with a curve, because it'll bounce up and down and your stitches won't lay nice and flat. So you got to iron it flat, basically, is the main thing. Yeah. What are you using to fuse the Stitch and Shape to fabrics that, like your hoodie, a needle and thread? That said, I do like my glue. This one here, the Press and Bond Ultra, that's the bomb. If you've ever seen me wear my blazer with the rose on the front, that's how I adhered it on there. This is like a patch that I put on a pocket. I literally take that pocket and pair of jeans and put it on the table at my event, so everybody can feel it and pick at it and flick at it, see how well it's ironed on there. That's the one. Yeah, and they are available from any Floriani or RNK distributing sewing store. Some websites too, like a lot of our retailers have fantastic websites. Some of our retailers don't have all the products on their websites, but if you go into their stores, they have them. Some of the retailers have websites that have every bobbin that they sell is on it. And so if they have all the bobbins and they'll have all the rolls, then you can just go to those ones. But I say support your local one to the best of your ability. Let's be honest, we want them there. Like, let's just have a small reality moment and remember that what we do, our home embroidery hobby, is integral with a local sewing store. And where there are fantastic local sewing stores, there is way more vibrant embroidery communities that happen. And without those vibrant sewing stores, we won't have a growing embroidery community. It'll become very sterile, like the big box. And super, super important, you guys. If you need bobbins, don't just go to Amazon. Get it from your local store. That all those extra dollars matter. And so, I know it's convenience, and I am just as like everyone else, love to shop in bed, but I do my homework, and then I still try to go down to Periwinkle Quilts in Saskatoon and buy my fabrics there. I'm sure I could have ordered them online and had them delivered to my door from somebody who I didn't know, and so that's, remember about that. And if you don't have a great local store, I'm sorry for you guys, because it is really important. And maybe if we could find one that to start supporting, they could grow and become one, or maybe encourage somebody to start it. But don't let them die, is what I'm saying. There's some of these places that I go are multi-generational family businesses, and it's heartbreaking if they don't, if they don't want to do it. So I'm not saying anything bad about it. As far as I know, all the sewing stores that I visit look like they're thriving, amazing. I'm just saying, let's not forget that Amazon didn't teach me how to embroider. And so I don't owe them anything. And I'll only get my stuff on there if I can't get it locally, because if I can, I want to keep those local people and all my kids to have jobs in local businesses, right? That's the idea. Whew, okay, that's my rant, and that's about an hour into my live today, and I just feel so grateful to see Sharon, Debbie, and Chris. And Chris said he bought a package of the Press and Bond sheets years ago. Now, Chris, Press and Bond and Press and Bond Ultra are not equal, okay? If you got the Press and Bond, you might want to get the Press and Bond Ultra. Sorry. But that said, you can double up I even double up the Press and Bond Ultra. So when I did my blazer, it's like a formal jacket that I wear out, but it's got a beautiful rose on the front of it above the pocket. And that could have been a crest or a patch. And I ironed it on. But I put the glue on the back of the rose, and then I peeled off the waxy paper, and I put a whole second layer on so that it was like double up. Why? Well, because I could looking at the blazer, it was like it's not a smooth one. It's kind of like a tweedy one, very textured, and the glue is just sinking in. And so I knew that I wanted to have enough glue to fill in all the gaps and make sure that it can't come off. So all that said, you asked me what I use, but the reality is, on my jean jacket that I have patches just like these ones, and on my sweatshirt, after I ironed them on, if I want to know that they'll never come off ever, I sew around them, white on white. It's white, so I leave the outer edge. You can see there's like an outer edge. After the satin stitch embroidery, I trim it, and then I sew it down with that, and that's how they sew together. Yeah, we'll learn more about patches on another day, but you guys, those are some of the important points, and thanks for asking the good questions, you guys. Yeah. The Press and Bond is on Floriani product. Yes, it is. It was discontinued about 4 years ago, and it was replaced with Mighty Fuse. But the Mighty Fuse was very different. The Press and Bond is very much like the Press and Bond Ultra. This is just a newer version of it. It's stronger, bottom line. I always felt like I could get the Press and Bond to peel off the jeans, even if I put 2 layers of it. It'd hold it on there, but if I picked at it too much, it'd start coming off. So it would hold them on, but it wasn't as strong. So that's really why we discontinued it, the Press and Bond. And in the meantime, we had a different product called Mighty Fuse. And the Mighty Fuse, the difference of the Mighty Fuse is it stays flexible. The Press and Bond and the Press and Bond Ultra, when you put them on something, it will kind of firm it up a little bit. So for a patch, it's nice. But if you're putting two pieces of fabric together, you might notice where the glue was. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you put, if you made the shape of a square and you fused it on the inside of a blue fabric and you fuse it to red fabric, well, it might kind of stiffen the fabric a little bit and not change the hand of where they were fused together. Like if you're putting a label onto clothing or a quilt or something. Whereas with the Mighty Fuse, when you fuse those two fabrics together, it didn't get stiff. It stayed flexible and even kind of didn't change the hand of the fabric in any way. So that's why, we still have Mighty Fuse, but the press and bond has been, we didn't have it for a couple of years, and then we just last year came out with Press and Bond Ultra. So yeah, if you have press and bond and you're doing postcards, I think you're good. Press and bond was more than enough glue for most of the projects, but it wasn't perfect for patches. Yeah, it's not that you can't use it if you're still going to hand sew it on. If you just want to, the nice thing about being able to fuse them on is when you hand sew them on or machine sew them on, they won't move while you're doing that. So you can fuse them in place, and then you can machine sew around it or hand sew around it, and it's not, you're not kind of trying to hand sew a movable thing. So that gives it a little bit. But I'm going to be honest, on this sweatshirt, which has been through the wash, probably 30 to 40 times. This thing's old. And my jean jacket, I've probably washed that a dozen times for all the flights that I've worn it on and everything. I have to wash it. And they get nice and white and bright, Whew. Okay, good questions. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. It's great to get back with you guys. Visit us on next week on Tuesday for FTC Workshop number 4, Class 17A and 18, and Digitalk on Wednesday, and, of course, Free Font Friday on Friday. So until then, guys, have a great week. Thank you so much, and bye for today.